Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. So today's video is all about Satan's Revenge of Legends week 1 challenges. We're going to discuss everything you need to know about the fights, the notes on these champions and the potential counters. So up first we have the Scarlet Witch, who's got chaos magic, and according to this note the attacker is immune to poison and power drain effects, but additionally when striking the defender they have a 30% chance to gain a chaos magic charge, which grants 25% attack rating for 50 seconds, but it expires 400% faster during the either champion's special attack. And this can be avoided only by intercepting the defender. So our game plan is pretty simple. We have to either use a champion which makes it easier for us to intercept, or make sure we frequently intercept Scarlet Witch to remove these chaos magic charges. And when a chaos magic charge expires naturally, the attacker is randomly inflicted with a root, crush and reverse control passive for 5 seconds. So our goal is to do our best to make sure we avoid that. Now on top of chaos magic, we also have predictive guard, according to which when the attacker performs the same combo ending attacker twice in a row, the attack has a 200% chance to be auto blocked. So make sure that every single one of your 5-hit combo ends with a different basic attack. And on top of that we have stay a while and listen node, which means when inflicted with a root effect the attacker is inflicted with a special lock passive for 4 seconds. So we have to make sure that we intercept the defender to remove the chaos magic charge frequently in order to avoid getting rooted and making the fight more complicated. Now there is defender bias, which means the defender is more likely to use heavy attacks and dash attacks. There is the gifted criticals, which means the defender's critical rating and critical damage ratings are increased with 40%. It's not a big deal. Now on top of all this we also have the Legend of Realms global node on all the fights. So according to which when struck by the first hit of any attack, the defender gains a special 3 lock charge up to 100. Charges are not gained when the lock is active or when it's on cooldown. When the defender reaches 3 bars of power, all the charges are consumed to prevent the defender from activating their special 3 for up to 40 seconds based on the charges consumed, and it has a 30-second cooldown. So instead of using a champion which gives us an easy chance to intercept, I decided to go ahead with my Silk because I like fighting with her. You can also use champions such as Spider-Punk, which gives you easy access to intercept. You could use Elsa Bloodstone. So these are the important things that you need to remember when you take care of Scarlet Witch. Now up next we have the Blackboard with Decaying Battery. This is in my opinion the easiest fight in week 1. The defender takes no damage from any source and stores the damage from damaging effects and power stings in a battery. Each time the defender finishes a special attack, they take 90% of the stored damage, which cannot exceed 50% of their max health. And if the battery is activated at 100%, 30% of it is drained. So what you have to do is pretty simple. You have to make sure to use a champion who applies power sting or damage over time effects. The damage will be stored in a battery, and then you have to push the Blackboard to an special 2 and let him throw that special 2 and take damage. Now he's got power coupling as well. The 5th time in a single combo the defender is struck by the first hit of a light or a medium attack, they gain a power gain buff granting 75% of their max power or 15 seconds. So keep that in mind. There's also the Don't Interrupt Me node, which means intercepting the defender with a medium attack nullifies all non-armor buffs on the attacker and deals the attacker a burst of direct damage equals to 10% of the defender's attack for each buff nullified. You also have to keep in mind that there is placebo node, which means 40% chance to gain a placebo buff whenever striking the defender. So you have to keep that in mind and make sure you do not intercept Blackboard in this fight. Use any champion that does damage over time or power sting effects and push him to an SP2 because he is special 1 locked. Make sure to keep the power gain in mind and bait that special 2, and then the damage that is stored in the battery would deal him a burst damage after his special 2. So this is all you have to keep in mind for this fight. I'm using Kushala here. You could use Spider-Ham or Spider-Woman, who both applies Power Sting. You could use any other champion who applies damage over time debuff, from any class type, and you can have a fun time with this fight. And as you can see here, the Black Bolt is almost down, and he'll be down with that final battery burst. Now up next we have the Hulk with Gamma Induced Rage. So according to this node, the attacker starts with a dominant fury timer for 20 seconds, starting paused. Striking the defender inflicts or refreshes a non-stacking 90% increased fragility passive for 3 seconds, paused during the defender's specials. While this fragility is active, the fury timer unpauses and expires more quickly based on how long the fragility has been active. When the fury timer ends, the attacker gains an indefinite 10% fury passive and the timer restarts. If the fragility ends, the defender gains a gamma rage charge indicated by the green icon below his health bar. If the defender reaches 5 charges, they become passively unblockable and unstoppable and more aggressive for 10 seconds. So by any chance, if you push him to 5 gamma rage charges, then you have to dance around the unblockable and unstoppable. But if you choose to be aggressive in this fight, then you will never get to that position in the first place. Now there's also crit me baby one more time, which means the defender takes 30% more damage from critical hits but takes 60% less damage from all the other sources. So make sure you choose a champion that crits. You could use Bullseye, Hitmonkey, Yelena, Shang-Chi. I choose to go with Nick Fury because I really like using him in fights. So all in all, it's a pretty easy fight as long as you find a way to dance around his gamma induced rage. Now there's also the predictive guard, which means when the attacker performs the same combo ending attack twice in a row, the attack has a 200% chance to be auto blocked. So keep that in mind and make sure to alternate your 5 hit combos, last hit to be a light and medium in each of the combos. And you can also track this with the 2 swords icon below your health bar. The one that has M means you end the previous combo with a medium, so you have to end the next one with a light. There's also Despair, which means each debuff on the attacker reduces their regenerative rate by 15% to the maximum of 100%. And there's also the Limber node, which means you have to be aware of the reduced duration of the stun effects. Now, keeping that in mind, this is a pretty straightforward fight. You just have to use a champion that crits because your damage completely depends upon the crit rate. And outside of that, make sure you rotate between your combo ending attacks to be medium and a light. And outside of that, if you have the gamma induced rage counter below Hulk's health bar under check, then this is a pretty straightforward fight, and you will take care of him pretty easily, to be honest. And as you can see here, I just made sure that my 5 hit combos end with a light and medium in every alternative combos, and I just took care of the gamma induced rage and make sure that the fight is over because of all the accumulated furies I had from the fight. Now up next we have the Wolverine with like a caged animal and program upgrades. If you ask me, this is the fight in this week's challenge where you need a much more direct counter compared to the other 3 fights. So let's discuss the nodes first. The program upgrades node means Wolverine is immune to heal broke and poison. He disables the attacker's Despair Mastery and his healing cannot be prevented, but it can be reversed. Additionally, his regen buffs have been upgraded to more impactful passives that no longer scales with power and cannot be affected by ability accuracy. And because of like a caged animal node, the final hit of the attacker's heavy places an effect area for 15 seconds, which will be indicated by sort of like this blue cage, which you will be able to see in a minute here. And while the defender is in the affected area, they are inflicted with a Spectre passive with potency scaling with the attacker's combo meter. And the affected area has a cooldown of 35 seconds. When the defender is struck, the cooldown is shortened by 0.5 seconds and by 4.5 seconds when intercepted. So your goal is to make sure once the blue cage area is on cooldown to attack Wolverine as much as possible and intercept him so that the cooldown timer is considerably reduced. And while the defender is not in the affected area, they are immune to Spectre and Petrify, and the regen rate cannot be reduced. So this is the annoying part of the fight. So not only that you cannot deal with the regen by any other means other than using Spectre and Petrify, you also have to make sure you're applying these on the Wolverine while he's in the blue cage. And as a result, you have to use a champion which has easy access to Petrify and Spectre, and you have to make sure that you apply a heavy attack and make sure the blue cage area is active by the time Wolverine has a regen on, and then you apply Spectre and Petrify to counter the regen, as you can see here. And on top of these nodes, there's also combo bonus, which means the attacker gains +1 additional combo on the first hit of the attack while either champion is in the affected area. Each time the attacker is knocked out, the defender gains an indefinite crossfire that grants 25 plus combo to the attacker at the start of each fight. There's also the going nowhere fast node, which means every 15 seconds there is a random chance for the attacker to be inflicted with a root passive for 5 seconds, or for the defender to gain 5% inexorable passive for 7.5 seconds, which makes the fight all the more annoying. Then there is the combo shield, which means the attacker starts a fight with indefinite combo shield passive. And what you need to keep in mind is that for this fight you can use any champion with Spectre and Petrify to reverse a regen, and make sure you time your attacks by keeping him inside the blue box by the time you deal your reverse regen damages. Now make sure you increase your combo meter and knock the defender down, and then keep Wolverine within the blue box area while it is active. So although all these nodes together may sound a bit annoying, having the program upgrades like a caged animal, combo bonus, going nowhere, and combo shield nodes together might make it sound like an annoying fight, but once you have the tempo of it under control, you will have a much easier time taking care of this Wolverine. Besides Sandman, I'll mention a few counters right below here. That's all for this video, guys. I hope you find this helpful. I'll see you in another one. Take care. Bye.